All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another MLB The Show 25 stream here on Twitch. I'm next JGChen24, and today we're going to be continuing on with Philly's Road to the Show. So if you guys don't know what happened in yesterday's stream, unfortunately the Phillies hit a bit of a snag. They started with the Brewers series, and they were doing fine. Um, Between that and the beginning of April, I would say like beginning of May. Like they had won the series against Milwaukee, they swept the Padres. Yeah, they dropped the series against San Francisco, but Arizona they won it. It was just after that it really became a bit of a slide. They split the series against the Cardinals. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds, and then they lost 3 out of 4 to the Mets, bringing the Mets within 1 game of the division lead. So now the Phillies are looking to right the ship against the Toronto Blue Jays, and then they have the Mets next week. So that might be the opportunity for Philly and the Phillies to be able to get their lead back out front of the Mets. So, with that said, Philly does want to make some upgrades. Does he? Maybe he doesn't. Yeah, not yet. Not yet. We'll get back to that, but you know, well, he's doing okay. What's up, Mets? How are you? What up, SB Champ? How are you? Chris Bubik? I'm doing okay. Oh, wow. Look at Chris. He's freaking 94 overall. Holy cow. Okay. Okay. Then I could totally see why he's a premier arm. I could definitely see that. Well, actually, I could be better. I could be better, truth be told, because I realized I made a mistake. Not anything to do with MLB The Show or anything like that. It was more something that I redeemed through a rewards program, and it turns out the thing is a lot sooner than I thought. It's a NASCAR race. I thought I was going to the Phoenix NASCAR race, and wow, that's a strikeout. That's a generous call. I mean, yeah, they would teach us. I learned in high school if it's close, you gotta swing. But I mean, come on, that was clearly a ball.
Inside ball.
Anyway, so I redeemed it thinking I was redeeming it for the Phoenix Fall race, but it turns out I actually redeemed them for the spring race, which is next weekend. Not this coming weekend, but the next weekend. And I can't take off of work to be able to get that. So, um, so I'm kind of stuck with 2 tickets to NASCAR. I'm actually reaching out to a couple fans that I met back in Daytona who live in the Phoenix area, and I'm gonna see if they would be interested in my tickets. And then my dad and I will go to the one in the fall. I should give her a call, though, and be like, hey, would you like these tickets? Because I'm not sure she's going to be able to have them on, or she's going to see my message on Instagram, and I couldn't text them. So I'll figure it out. I just hate that that happened. So now I feel bad, and honestly, it was my own stupid mistake. I thought it was the fall race, but and I can't exchange them either.
Got him.
Nice knockdown play there by Harper to get the out.
Right fielder, Phil.
Got home from work this morning at 3:30 and found out you had no power. Oh, that sucks. Did it come? Well, I'm assuming that it came back on because you're on the internet.
Off the plate, ball one.
I mean, you're part of my stream, so that to me says that at some point you did get your power back, because you wouldn't be here if you had no power, or if you still had no power. Okay, so it was off for, a few hours.
The left fielder, Miguel.
I mean, you were sleeping anyway, right?
Come on, ball, get on up.
Nice double there by Miguel Andujar. That's going to push the Phillies' lead to 4 now. 5-0 against the Toronto Blue Jays. Now in the bottom of the 5th. So this might be Tarek Skubal's bounce-back game. He's had a couple of rough ones since he started off 6-0. And it might be a bounce-back one for Lee as well. He didn't do much in that series against the Mets, so seeing him with a few hits here, I know they're only singles, but, sometimes it's better to have some singles and some RBIs than it is to have, one extra base hit. So at least with Lee, at least he's hitting. Alright, he's at least going for 1 run. That would be the smart thing to do. Mm. Ah, 3 for 4. Okay.
One ball, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Wait, why couldn't you go back to sleep once you had your shower?
Full count.
See, at that point, if that were me, and usually it is me, holy cow, Phil Lee drive that one deep, and no doubt about that one. A grand slam for Lee. Damn, he's gonna end up with 6 RBIs in this game. What a grand slam. Wow, Phil Lee, that's one way to rebound after the Mets series. See, usually when I get home, the last thing from work, the last thing that I do is I just eat breakfast. That's about all I'll do. Lee with a drive to right field, but it looks like the right fielder's going to get this one. That's okay. The Phillies are already up 10-0. So I think for Lee, he can sacrifice that. Ooh, Jorge Polanco on the Blue Jays. So gotta push through. I know it takes a lot of adjusting. I mean, I've been on it for over 2 years now, and I'm still not adjusted to it.
Batting third, the right fielder, Phil Lee.
Come on, ball, get on up.
Drive out to right field, but right at the right fielder. Darn it. At least it was a productive out. And the Phillies still take the lead 3-0. Although Christopher Sanchez has not been good lately.
Batting second, the second baseman,
Get up.
That's a deep drive to center field, but the center fielder is gonna take a home run away, doing that stupid, one foot catch for height. Don't understand that, but okay.
Phil Lee.
Back down to earth, maybe for Lee. There we go. There's a base hit.
Now batting, the catcher, Carson Kelly.
I understand.
Get up, ball, get up, ball.
The batter, the right fielder, Phil Lee.
It's hard. I get it. Well, it's hard enough as it is, but the situation with your dad makes it even tougher, so.
Oh.
Darn. Well, at least he did get a hit. If that's Lee's last at bat, at least he got a hit. They're going to be smart. They're not going to try and test Lee's arm. it's a foul ball. It healed up already? Interesting. Ooh, and the Blue Jays take the lead 5-3. Dang it. Underneath it. And that's the ball game. So after winning 10-0, they drop game 2 5-3, despite having a lead for, I would say, a majority of the game. Yeah, they lost in the 7th inning, so that I gotta see though. I need to see what exactly ruined it. Was it that freaking? Right. Okay. So here we go. So I think it might have been Santander at the time when we did that fielding moment. I'm not sure. Maybe it was Bo Bichette. But Bo Bichette hit the 3-run homer in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that put him out front 4-3. So Dominguez blew that one. That loss is completely on Dominguez. Oh, it's on Joyce. That's interesting because Joyce wasn't responsible for the home run. I mean, yeah, he was responsible for the runs, but he wasn't responsible for the home run that ultimately put the Blue Jays out front. That's all Dominguez. Well, whether it be light duty or regular duty, at least he's going back, so give you a little peace of mind.
Come on, ball, get on up.
Yeah, Lee made a choice not to risk it. No offense to Andujar, but it just didn't look like a base hit. Those ones are always tough to judge. Woo! Oh, Olay there! Oh, they're saying go, 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 go! And he scores. So error by the third baseman there. I don't know who. Ernie Clement? What's he do playing third? Did they move him over to third? Or is he just playing there to give Polanco a chance at second? That might be it. Wow, Lee is actually in first for home runs at 21? Dang. And, of course, the Blue Jays scored 2 to bring it back within 1. Uh-oh. He's gonna try and stretch it.
Got him. That's an out.
He should have known better. Come on, Polanco. Should have known.
Ball one, no strikes. That's out. Aye.
That's fine. I'm okay with letting that pitch go. Could have been ball 3.
2-2 count. Three two.
All right, working a full count. And he's going to work the walk. Very nice. Hey, sometimes doing that can create run situations. So it's all about being smart. It's good to see that Lee is actually doing better at not swinging at pitches that are way outside the zone. Because last year, and even earlier or not last year, but the last season, and even early on in this season, Lee was struggling with that. Bo Bichette still on the Blue Jays. Uh-oh. And he's going to jump up against the wall to take a hit away. Sorry, Bo Bichette, no hit for you. Well, Lee knows that this has to be a base hit. Get Turner in there. Oh, and he grounds out to the third baseman. Oh. He tried. And no doubt that's going to be a double. Could Lee have robbed it? Maybe. Oh, this is a key situation, so Lee has to get this. He has to get this run in.
Ball in.
And Lee's going to drive this one to right field, no doubt about it. He doesn't just get one run in, he gets 3 on one swing in the top of the 9th. And the Phillies are going to go back out in front 6-3 with his 22nd home run on the year. Nice job, Lee. Way to come through clutch. Yep. I'm sorry, Mets. They literally do everything but upgrade franchise. I'm pretty sure they just copy and paste it from the previous year, and like, catch him out, throw him out, double play. Very nicely. We should play this out. I mean, look, they're good with Diamond Dynasty. Road to the Show was a nice, is getting upgraded, which is always nice. That's a pop out to the catcher in foul territory. He's under it. And that's the ball game. So the Philadelphia Phillies take the third game off of Lee's 3-run homer in the 9th inning, and they take the series. They're back in the winning series column after what was a disaster start to the month of May for them. What's up, Bubbles? Yeah, I really wish I could tell you otherwise, Mets, but I think they realize that people play not for their franchise, but rather for Diamond Dynasty and an Ultra Choice pack. Oh, you know what? I gotta head into Diamond Dynasty to open that up. So hold on a second while I save this and we'll come back to it. Let's be right back while we get into Diamond Dynasty for a minute. Alright, so who's worth the most? 87, 89, 89, 99, 91 for Diaz. Whoa. Freddie Peralta, hello. Alright, 91987. Alright, that was a short little dip into... That was just a short little dip into Diamond Dynasty there, just to sell the Freddie Peralta card. I mean, look, I personally have no problem with franchise. I mean, I still play it, mainly because I just take my March to October, and then after I win the World Series, I turn it into franchise, and then just go from there, so... Excuse me. I mean, do you put on the setting where you have the ability to be able to reject trades? Because I thought there was an option for that, and so you can actually reject those trades. Let me see. Hold on. Ugh. I thought there was a setting or something that gave you the ability to be able to do that. SB Champ or Bubbles, you want to help me out with that? You want to see if what I'm saying is correct? Because right now I'm in Road to the Show, and I'm not going to be able to check myself. Can you just pop into franchise and see if there's an option, even if you have to create a new franchise, just see if there's an option for you to reject trades. It might be under roster control, but I'm not sure. Okay, so you're busy. Worst comes to worst, I'll do it after this series against the Mets.
Phil Lee.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, so... Alright, yeah, I'll do it after this series against the Mets.
Ball one, no strikes.
Okay. I just figured I'd ask for a little assistance, but if not, I understand. Mm. Hold on, I'll look it up. Is there an option to reject trades in MLB?
Lee.
Whoops. Pause that for a second. Okay. It looks like there is. You are presented with the trade details and can choose to accept or decline the offer. So they say it is. They say there is. I'll have to look in franchise again once I'm done with the Mets series.
Ball, that pitch is out.
Well, let's find out. As Lee's going to drive that one to right field, no doubt about that one, in the upper deck. And Phil Lee, with his 23rd home run on the year, puts the Phillies even further out front with a 7-0 lead.
Batting eight, the designated hitter, Mauricio.
Well, that's Kodai Senga, so he's probably done.
Batting ninth, the left.
I'm not really sure. In terms of home runs, I feel like he's going to be I feel like he's not going to be on the pace that he was on last year. Last year he had like 70 home runs, and I don't think he's going to get to that this year. But in terms of, is he going to be able to repeat as MVP? I think he has a pretty good chance at that. Well, look at it this way, Mets. You're not cheering for the Phillies, you're cheering for Phil Lee. Like, this is his road to the show that we're enjoying here. He's on the Phillies. It made a lot of sense. How are you not going on that, Turner? So, I don't know if the Phillies are going to keep Phil Lee around. There used to be a thing in MLB The Show where your road to the show player would get traded before you even reach the majors. And he's already at the majors right now, but he could still get traded. Yeah, but aren't you a Yankees fan anyway? So you're basically rooting against the Mets. May not have been a base hit, but at least Lee is going to get the sac fly there. Yeah, we're just going to sim it. There's no way the Mets are coming back. And that's the ball game. The Phillies beat down the Mets 15-6. Take the opening game against the Mets, which is good. They need to create some separation between them and the Metropolitans with this division battle being so tight. I've been to a couple where the Mets got beat down, and both of them were against the Braves. The one where in 2023, I want to say, when Jared Eichhoff started on the mound for the Mets, and then they went on to win like 10-0 or something like that. He absolutely stunk it up, and then that same year, the Braves dropped like 27 on the Mets, and I was gone before they even got a third of the way into the game. I just left. Look, I'm a loyal Mets fan, but I can't stick around for a game where they're going to get absolutely destroyed. I just can't. I'm sorry. I've got better things to do in the day.
Count's full.
Well, I don't even drive there. I don't drive there. I take the subway or the train.
Hey, nice rip, kid. That boy.
Batting fifth, the left fielder, Miguel.
I feel like that's the only way to. Well, it's not the only way, but it's definitely the best way to get to Citi Field because you don't want to pay for parking. They're going to rip you off.
The batter, the right fielder.
Parking is egregious at Citi Field. Like you said, the traffic, ugh.
Ball, that's out. Ball 2. Three balls, no strikes.
I mean, look, if Holmes wants to walk Lee, there's no shame in that. It might actually be the best decision he does.
That's ball 4.
Take that walk, Philly.
The batter, the catcher, Carson Kelly.
At least Carson Kelly is starting to pick it up. 290 average, that's good to see. And just as I say that, what does he do? He grounds into an inning-ending double play. Sometimes I open my mouth way too quickly. Nice catch, Lee.
Ball, that's too high.
He had no choice there. He had to make contact or that was going to be strike 3. So I always feel like it's better just to have... it's better to make contact and get out than it is to strike out. That's just my opinion, but, I mean, if you're going to get out, you might as well force the fielders to make a play. Devin Williams.
1-0.
See, now, I think what the Mets had in mind when they signed Williams is exactly what's going on with the Mets bullpen in this Road to the Show, which is Devin Williams in the setup role and Edwin Diaz in the closer. But obviously that's not going to happen, and Lee is just going to go deep there to center field to put the Phillies back out front 3-1 with his 24th home run on the year. So, you know, Devin Williams still giving up home runs in clutch time. Hopefully I don't see that too much at Citi Field this year. Oop. Here we go. All right, yeah, we should definitely let's enter and let's try to finish this out. And that's strike 3, sit down, and that's the ball game. So the Phillies take the series against the Mets, winning the second game 3-1, and now they're going for the sweep. This might be the rebound that the Phillies were looking for. Don't know what changed, but whatever changed, fantastic.
Batting third, the right fielder, Phil Lee.
And Lee's going to drive that one to right center field, and that's going to head to the bullpen. So Phil Lee with his 25th home run on the year, and he's going to put the Phillies out front 2-0. Phil Lee is determined. He wants to exact revenge for the 3-1 series loss that they took in Philadelphia. That's the only way I can explain it. I told you, Phil Lee, he is determined against the Mets. He hates the Mets more than any other team in Major League Baseball. He does not like them. So he's always determined to do his very best at against New York.
No, that's a foul ball.
But it looks like the Mets have tied it back up at 2, or tied it up at 2. So
Ball one.
oh well, Phil Lee can only do what he can do. No, he didn't go. Thank you. And he got on top of that one there. Might have been a strikeout, might have been a ball. He couldn't take that risk. $117 home runs, huh? Oh boy. See, even getting underneath that, it was still within the inner PCI. It should have been a, should have been deeper at least.
Relay, hit me, relay.
Catch him out, throw him out, double play. Phil Lee saving a run, keeping the Mets from taking the lead. And now he could give the Phillies a lead if he can at least get this ball to the outfield. And it looks like he did just that. It's fine that it's up against the wall. It's gonna be a sac fly anyway.
Relay, 3-3-3.
Catch him out, throw him out, double play. Phil Lee is particularly good at that. Ooh, this is a close one. Jeff McNeil up to bat. No doubt this ball is going to be in play. Oh, Phil Lee with a bit of a misread on it, but that's okay because he's going to get back and he's going to catch it, and that's the ball game. So the Phillies come to Citi Field and they sweep the Mets at their home stadium. 3-2 win Unfortunately, not a very productive final game, but Lee did have that 2-run homer. In fact, he was actually responsible for all 3 of the Phillies' runs. He had the 2-run homer, and he had the sac fly. So all the offense was around Phil Lee. Oh, hold on. I see we got a spammer. Get out of here, spammer. You are not welcome. Sorry. All right, it's time to head back to Citizens Bank Park. Oh, let's see what that did for the standings. Good, it put the Phillies back out front by 4 games, so there's a little bit of distance there between them and the Mets. Still a close, division race, but at least there's a gap again.
That's third. The right fielder, Phil Lee.
No, that's a ball.
If they were to challenge that'd probably be a strike for ABS. I don't know. Did they say that this year ABS was going to be in the game? Or no? Is that only going to be limited to
2-1.
offline modes like franchise? You know how like the challenges are kept to
Ball 3.
franchise and everything? Probably the same deal with ABS.
Take your base. Ball 4.
Nice walk there, Lee. Miguel Andujar. The Phillies let Schwarber walk for you.
Now batting, the right fielder, Phil Lee.
Schwarber at least could hit home runs. And he came up clutch with some of those home runs.
Now batting,
Ooh.
the right fielder, Phil
And the Rockies take an early 4-1 lead.
Come on, ball, get on up.
Lee with a drive out to right field. That's going to land over in the corner up against the wall. Lee's got a double. So maybe some life here for the Phillies late in the game. I said maybe.
Now batting, left fielder, Miguel Andujar.
2-2.
Deep fly ball to left field, but left fielder's under it, and that's going to retire the side. I did say maybe. So much for that life, you know? And Phil Lee's going to leap at the wall to make the catch, take a hit away. Might as well see what Stock can do. Hey, a couple base hits here and there. Nope, never mind. Stock's just going to ground out to short, and that's the ball game. So Colorado Rockies take game one. I mean, that happened a lot in the last stream. So maybe the Phillies could bounce back for the next for game two.
Batting third, the right fielder, Phil Lee.
That's a ball.
A 400 career average against Colorado.
Ball, no. No, that's a ball. That's a ball.
Okay, gotta take the walk. You know, nothing Lee can do there.
No, he's in there, safe. Ball, no, that's in.
Runner, yes.
Oi.
Nice. Stolen base for Lee. His third on the year. At least he puts himself in position to score. Carson Kelly can drive him in.
2-2. He's out.
I mean, trades have never usually been my thing in franchise. What I'd like to see is a bit more control over the progression of players. You know how in Madden, as the players upgrade, you know, you can add them to fit your playing style or fit your playing style so that they can play better in your playbook and everything. I wish I would see that in franchise mode. I just feel like that I can't control the progression, and it's totally up to the CPU. For me, that's the biggest thing, because if they were to do that, then I would have a lot more fun with franchise. That way I know which players I can trade and try to get maybe prospects out of them, or I can move them so that I can bring up prospects. It's like, okay, so let me give an example. In my franchise that I'm currently running with the New York Mets, okay, I have 2 first basemen. None of them are Pete Alonso. One is Ryan Clifford, who's in the Mets system currently. And then there was another one, I'll show it after I get out of this series with the Rockies.
He's out.
The batter, the designated hitter, Young DL.
But then, but this guy, this first baseman, I drafted him in the first round of the most recent draft. And he's a 75 overall. Ryan Clifford, I don't think, has even gone into 80 yet. He might be there. I'm not 100% sure.
The right fielder, Lee.
Get over his head. Get over his head.
Deep drive out to right center field. That's going to get up against the wall. Lee's going to hustle in for a double. So it's like, do I trade Clifford now? Because now I have that first baseman who I just drafted is a 75 overall
1-1.
and appears to be the future of my franchise. Or do I try to keep going with Ryan Clifford, keep trying to upgrade him, or keep trying to give him at bats, and then maybe he'll upgrade to be an 80 overall, and I could still give my prospect first baseman time to be able to develop. You get what I'm saying, gamer? It's like I can't understand the progression system for MLB The Show. It seems stagnant. It seems like I have no control over what happens. Oh. Well, you could have said that will retire the side, so Lee gets a double, but comes up with nothing. Or the Phillies come up with nothing.
Ariel.
The Rockies were smart. I was talking about the progression system in MLB The Show. And that really, for me, that's the biggest change I want to see. Because I can't tell, or I can't figure out how to progress the players, better in order to make them stars. And that's the ball game. So the Rockies are going to take this series 2-0, and the Phillies are going to be looking to avoid the sweep. I don't understand how it is that the Phillies can sweep the Mets, and then the very next series, they're on the cusp of being swept by the Rockies. Baseball is so weird. I'd rather watch the World Baseball Classic um, when they actually get into the tournament. You know, pool play is for me. I really would rather just watch the quarterfinals, the semifinals. Well, actually, if I can even watch it at all. I don't think I can. And that's a drive to deep left field, no doubt about it. Ring the bell, Phil Lee. Phil Lee determined to make sure his Phillies don't get swept in front of the hometown crowd. Last one to left field for his 26th home run on the year and extends the Phillies lead to 4-0. Now it's 7-0. Yeah, because don't a lot of the games aren't some of the games going to be happening at like in the afternoon? I mean, I'm going to be sleeping. I'm sorry to say, but overnights don't allow me to be able to watch much TV. So unless the semifinals are going to be on a Monday or a Tuesday, I'm afraid I'm not going to get a chance to be able to watch.
One ball, one strike.
Drive to the left center field gap. Doyle's going to get there. Lee's going to slide in for a double. So nice job by Lee. I think he's finding his swing that he's been missing all series. Probably would have helped out if he had found it sooner, but I guess it is what it is. Better late than never, right? Oh man, again? That is like the worst double play ever. You ground it back to the pitcher and the pitcher throws it home and then throws on to first for the double play. It's terrible. Like, hit the ball in the air, for crying out loud. Don't hit it on the ground. Ball doesn't do any good when it's on the ground with bases loaded.
Now batting, shortstop Ezekiel Toga. The batter,
Once again, Lee chasing outside. So, still there. That's the old Lee. Yep, still the old Lee.
No balls, one strike. Ball. 1-1. Ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hard. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
At least he got a base hit.
Now batting, the catcher, Carson Kelly.
And Carson Kelly grounds into a double play. So if it's not Miguel Andujar, it's freaking Carson Kelly grounding into double plays. Sorry, I got a little distracted here. We're just gonna sim. Alright, so at least the Phillies avoid the sweep there. They do lose the series to the Rockies, but at least they avoid the sweep 7-1. Maybe the Rockies are far better than I'm giving them credit for. You know, I still think this is the same old Rockies team. Let's see. They're not doing too bad. They're 25-26, so they're in the hunt. All right, well, it's the Marlins now. Nice. That's all right. All right, Miami Marlins.
Batting third, the right fielder, Phil Lee.
Ball one. Ball two.
Mm.
Batting six, the second baseman, Tommy Hare. Doug Noha.
2-2-2.
Batting seven.
Oh, Jazz Chisholm Jr. is on the Cubs. Got it. All right, well, that solves that mystery. Where did Jazz Chisholm Jr. end up going if he wasn't on the Yankees? And he wasn't. I don't know why they would even think going. Of course not.
Nope, outside. Ball inside.
Mm.
2-2 the count. Three and two.
You know, I do find that Lee, it's better in those kinds of situations there. I mean, obviously not there, but you know, when in 3-2 counts, he actually has a pretty good average.
Runner, he's going, he's going. Get up, ball.
Of course, that's going to be foul. So, Phillies, they dropped the opening game against the Miami Marlins. Oh my gosh. And Lee goes hitless. So that's not helping his cause.
The right fielder, Phil Lee.
But Lee's got to focus up here.
No, he's safe.
Sure, it was a fail, but at least it wasn't a double play. That's why Kelly is there. He's supposed to back up Lee. There we go, see? Oh, wait. Too slow. Brandon Marsh, too slow. I never thought I would see the day. Can we make that happen in real life and make it happen like this year? That would be one way we can... The Phillies can be kneecapped. Nice catch, Lee. Now that actually seemed like a pretty solid hit. Squared it up, he was just late on. And yet all it was a fly ball to center field.
Aye. 0-1's the count. One and one. Aye. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Now batting, catcher.
Yeah, I think Lee has a problem against the Miami Marlins. He just can't seem to do well with them.
Aye.
Or can't seem to do well against them, I should say. Of course, swinging at pitches like that is not helpful. Of course, they're going to intentionally walk Lee. So yet another game for Lee to end up hitless.
Up next for Philadelphia, Miguel and Duhar.
And Duhar just barely batting above the Mendoza line. Barely. But that's worth $9.3 million a year for 3 years. Strike 3, sit down, and that's the ball game. So the Phillies bounce back. They get a 5-2 win to take Game 2, and now they're going to be trying to take the series against the Marlins. Yuri Perez, of course. What's he at? He's at an 89 overall. He's 23 years old.
Ball.
On paper, this should be a fun matchup between Lee and Perez.
Aye. One ball,
Both
one
of them,
strike.
I think they're around the same age. Yeah, they're both 23. And of course, Lee does that.
Leading off for the ball, the designated hitter, Ruiz.
Uh-oh. This could be trouble. No, it's not. Philly takes a home run away from Ruiz. Christopher Sanchez, if the Phillies end up winning this game, you owe Lee a drink. Oh, Luis Arias ends up back on the Marlins. Of course. Ah, not a good series for Philly.
Now back, second baseman, Tommy Hare.
I mean, he may end up going this entire series without a hit.
Got him.
Got him! Nice rebound there. Lee with a fly out to right field. The right fielder's under it, but at least that's going to drive in a run. So he does something. He gets an RBI.
The left fielder.
I think Lee doesn't ever want to play the Miami Marlins again. He just hates playing against them. And not like how he hates the Mets, okay? He just hates that the Marlins have his number. Yeah, that series, 0 for 12. 1 RBI. That's it. That's all Lee did. Oh my God. So now the Phillies are going to welcome in the Blue Jays.
Batting eighth, the second
Oh! And they're already off to a great start. 6-0. God, I can't wait to see this game log. Bo Bichette doubled. Clement got a base hit to the single, or got a base hit to left. So Bichette ended up at third. Guerrero up the middle for a single. Bichette scores. Clemente advances to third. Rooker walks. And Luke's hits a sac fly to left field, so Clement scores. Kirk walked. Byron Buxton homered. So it was already 2-0, and then Byron Buxton drills one out. And that's the end of the day for Zach Wheeler. Oi.
Yep. 0-1. Ball inside.
Cam Schlittler ended up on the Blue Jays? Wow. You know what? I'm kind of intrigued, or I'm kind of tempted to try something here. See if this works. I mean, I feel like it's already a lost cause. I'm not sure what else Philly can do. You might as well experiment while you're in games like this. Lee with a drive out to right field. That's going to get off the wall. Lee's going 3, and I think he's going to have it. He will. An RBI triple for Phil Lee.
Now batting, catcher, Parkwell. Kelly.
Oh, there we go. Carson Kelly managed to make it to 100 home runs. Good for him. And he's going to strike out. So that's always something. That's always something you love to see. Especially with a runner on third. That literally all you have to do is hit the ball to the outfield. And you could score him. But now, and Duhar couldn't do that. Kelly couldn't do that. So we're up to Alec Bohm, who has an OPS below 700. So this is by far one of his worst seasons. As evidenced by the fact that he just took strike 3 right there. Schlittler is at 105.
Yep.
Over 100
2
pitches.
strikes.
This is probably his last inning.
Out.
There's nothing the Phillies can do. So Zach Wheeler absolutely deserves that loss. Deserves it. You know?
That's third. The right fielder, Phil Lee.
There we go. A base hit to center field.
He's safe.
Runner, runner, runner.
Hike. No, he's
Nice stolen base. And we're just going to pop out to the second baseman. Nice, Kelly. $18.3 million for that.
The left fielder, David Schneider.
Come on, ball.
Right out to right field. But that's going to get caught.
Now batting, right fielder, Phil Lee.
ball. Two, one.
Oh, come on. Lee. Can't be striking out like that.
Relay two, relay two. Cut four, cut four.
This is going to be like 5-0. 2-0. I'm surprised. That's a deep fly ball to center field. Caught, and there's no shot, so Toronto Blue Jays take game 2, which means the Phillies are once again in a position of being swept at home. They literally just went through this situation with the Colorado Rockies. Now they got to do it against the Blue Jays.
Leading off the afternoon for Toronto, the shortstop, Bo Bichette.
He's going to throw out the runner, throw out Bichette.
Ball one. 1-0. Ball 2. 2-0's the count.
There we go. Lead with a base hit up the middle.
Out.
Now batting, the catcher, Alejandro Kirk.
Bunchies. Really? He has not even focused on bunting. He doesn't want to bunt. So why would that perk even come up for him?
The right fielder, Phil
Seriously.
Lee.
I mean, when Lee struggles, it's not good for the Phillies. Right now, he's struggling. Catch him out, throw him out, double play. At least he could still field. Get on base, right?
Number 41, Steven Oakley.
Ball. 1 ball. No strike.
Well, it's not going to be a double, but at least he's on base.
Two.
$18.3 million, right? Wow. Miguel Andujar is 9.3 million, so and that's a double play. Congratulations, Andujar. You and Carson Kelly are really showing what you guys are made of. Ground ball.
Go. Easy now.
Scott was able to beat it out. But this is Marcy, so I don't have too many high hopes here.
That's it.
And that's the ball game. So the Phillies get embarrassed at home by being swept by the Blue Jays. So what they did against Colorado, they can't do against the Blue Jays. And I'm pretty sure the Blue Jays won the series against them, the season series, 4-2. I'm even wondering if the Phillies still have a lead. Somehow, miraculously, they still have a lead. But despite being swept by the Blue Jays and losing 2 out of 3 to the Rockies, somehow they still have a division lead. I'm shocked. Ooh, barely got that. Nice. Very good. Let's see. Yep. I have to check the MVP race, see if Lee is even still in contention for it. Because he had that series against Miami where he went hitless, and he was 3 for 4 or 3 for 12 against the Blue Jays. So
Yeah, here we go. Relay.
nice catch there by Lee, up against the wall to end the inning. So great job there by Lee.
Get down.
What's up, Poopin? Doing all right. Yourself? Uh-oh. Bad decision by Lee? No. Somehow makes it into a double.
Batting fourth, the catcher, touchdown. Kelly.
At least the Phillies are going to score a run. Getting better and excited for your uncle's funeral tomorrow. I'm sorry. If it makes you feel any better, yesterday I just went to a wake for my neighbor. She passed away after being on a ventilator. You know, she was in pain. They just laid her to rest this morning.
The first baseman, Ryan O'Hearn.
I mean, look, I've known my neighbor since I was a kid, because she would babysit me and my siblings when we were younger.
The right fielder.
So, but I knew she had her demons. And by that, I mean she had substance. Well, I shouldn't say that, but She struggled with addiction. Well, I don't think there's any question the Dodgers are going to be good. I don't think anyone ever doubted that. The big thing for the Dodgers is to avoid injuries.
That's a ball.
If they avoid injuries, they'll be fine.
Ball four. Take your base.
Well, yes, but also take into consideration that it may not be major league pitching that these guys are going up against.
Come on, ball, get on up.
And also, how much of the starting lineup is starting for the Dodgers? I mean, that might actually be, to your point, a really good sign, because if the Dodgers are winning, even not with all their starters, shows a lot of promise.
Get down, get down.
No.
Okay, well, I don't know who they've gone up against. I for one don't take stock in wins and losses when it comes to spring training. Like, to me, more of what I'm looking for is how do certain players play.
Harper.
Get down.
You know, that's what I take stock in. I want to, like, for the Mets. For the Mets, what I'm looking at is several things. First of all, which pitcher is going to step up, or which pitchers, I should say, are going to step up and be the fourth and fifth starters for the Mets, because that's their biggest question heading into this season. Who's going to start after, Peralta, McLean, and Peterson? Those are the only three guys that I see right now that have their spots locked for the season. But 4 and 5, as well as long relief, that's a totally different story. That to me is open. Don't worry about it, Hoopin. I get it. You've had other things to do. You're here when you can be, and that's all I ask for. I never hold it against anyone if they're away from my streams for a long time. I mean, Debringa literally popped in, what was it, last month? And that was like the first time in months that I had even heard from him. So believe me, I'm not going to, if I don't hold it against him, I'm not going to hold it against anyone. Truth be told, we're at the point in MLB The Show where we're all just looking ahead to MLB The Show 26. Quite honestly, I don't even know why I'm still streaming MLB The Show 25. It's like, there's... Then that's on me, Hoopin. That's on me to find a way to make my streams more entertaining so that people come in here and they want to watch it. Because they think I'm entertaining. Maybe they like Road to the Show. Although, at this point, I mean, I'm not really sure that a lot of people are interested in it. Because, like I said, we're all gearing up for MLB The Show 26. Nice. Nice base hit, Lee. So, I'm just trying to do my best here to at least give some content, but...
Now batting.
Well, of course, it's going to be whoever the live series collection is, whoever might be the American League and National League live series collection as well. But those are going to be the only 99 overalls we're going to have available to us. We're not going to have 99 we're not going to have 99s until probably closer to the All-Star game. Because that's exactly what they did this year. Or this past year.
He's out.
You know, I would say I started seeing the 99s outside of Carlos Beltran, Gil Hodges, and Roger Clemens
Ball one, no
as soon as around the All-Star break. Probably, like Home Run Derby. Home Run Derby probably was the first 99 we had. The winner, I forget who won it. So,
Ball four, take your base.
Get down.
well, he's got to grow into it. It's a new position. I mean, I'd rather him make those errors, you know, now in spring training than during the regular season. Gotta give him time. We only just started spring training. It only started on Saturday. Actually, it started last Friday, but... Well, if he's making so many errors, then maybe your brother is not going to be so upset. Because, I mean, if he was going to be making those errors at second base, then how was that going to help the Phillies win?
The right fielder, Will Lee.
You're out.
Leading off for San Diego, the right fielder, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Oh, Phil Lee! What are you doing? Oh my gosh, how do you miss that?
Now batting, right fielder, Will Lee.
Apparently that counted as a double, so I think Lee got a pass. But he should have had that. And that's gone! Ring the bell for Phil Lee! A 2-run homer! His 27th on the year. And the Phillies take the lead 2-0. I'm sorry I had to pause there, but I just wasn't sure what the score was. It's a wall scraper, but at least it got over the wall.
Leading off for the Padres, the catcher, Ivan Herrera. For the Phillies, the right
Oh,
fielder,
it's Lou Gehrig Day.
Lou.
I didn't even see that. Raising awareness for ALS. Okay. All right. See you on Monday then. You know, good luck with your uncle's funeral. And good luck with your class tonight.
Come on, ball, get up. Get up.
There you go. That's something to look forward to. Wait, last class of the year. We're only in February.
Ball. Ball 2. We got 2 balls, 1 strike.
Right. But we're not at the summer yet. We're not in April or you still got March, April, and June to go through, no? Or I'm sorry, March, April, and May. No?
Now batting, catcher, Ivan Herrera.
Wait, when does what you're in the spring semester, right?
1, 1, 1.
And that's the ball game. Philly and the Phillies take game 2, and they've tied up the series at 1 with a 3-0 win over the Padres. A much needed win, to say the least. Maybe the Phillies only win if Phil Lee hits a home run. Right, so when are spring classes for you? Does your because for me a spring semester starts end of January, beginning of February, and it goes all the way till the middle of May. But I thought you said this is your last class. So what are you doing until April 29th? Oh. Okay, when you said last class, I thought you meant that was your last, session. Like your last, you were done with class, you weren't going to any more classes after this one tonight. That's what I thought you meant.
Got him.
And that one you're taking in the fall? Or Yeah, yeah, you gotta give me, you gotta let me, you just gotta lay it out for me, because I haven't been in college since, how long has it been? 8 years.
Come on, ball, get on up.
So I need it laid out for me, because it's been a while. Lead with a deep drive to right field. That's going to get off the wall. That's going to score in 1 run, and the Phillies lead is extended 3-1 off of Lee's RBI double right there. Okay, maybe you want to send a follow up with her, or does she have like? I know when I was in college, the teacher, the professors had like these. I don't know what I don't remember what they called it, but they had like office hours where students could go and like sit with them. Yeah, that's what they are, office hours. And they could go with them and try to like better understand the material. So why don't you do that? She's too busy during office hours to help you? Then what's the point of her having office hours if she's too busy? The whole point of offering office hours is so that you can go to her and say, hey, I don't understand this material. You know, can we go over it? Or can you explain it to me? No. If multiple students are coming to office hours, if I'm a professor, I would love that. Because one, that means that these students are dedicated to learning, or they're willing to admit that they don't understand the material and they would like it laid out for them in a different way, and they're willing to seek extra help to be able to understand it. That's how I would view it. I think I figured that was the whole purpose of office hours. Again, I might be far removed from uh, college, but I would think that if you offer office hours, that means that you're saying that's when students should come to you if they have any questions. Because I know my one writing class professor hated it when I used to bother her not during her office hours, but it was the only time that I could go to her and I really didn't understand the material. So I'm sure she hated it, but at the end of the day, I was trying to make an effort to understand the material and make sure that I got a decent grade out of it. Okay, so maybe do you have time for her office hours today? If you do, I would go to those office hours now. or I would go to those office hours, and I'd be like, "Hey, I want you to explain this material to me, or I want you to explain the assignment so that I understand it and I don't fail the class." Oh. Well, when does she say her office hours are?
2-1.
The batter, the left fielder, Miguel Andujar. Leading up for the Dodgers, the third baseman.
I mean, and let me also.
Freeland.
All right, you too, Hoopin. Okay, no problem. But if you gotta get going, get going. Whatever you gotta do, go do. I'm also trying to, what I wanted to ask is, what kind of a professor is she? Is she, and I don't mean like, oh, is she a doctor? Is she like, I'm talking about, is she an adjunct, an associate,
Ball.
well, associate professor, or is she more tenured?
Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That's not what I meant. Has she ever explained that? Like, is she... What I'm asking is, what's her employment status? Is she an adjunct professor, or is she full-time? Because that might explain why she hasn't gotten back to you.
Ball, no.
Okay.
1 ball, no strikes.
Well, if she were adjunct, then I would have understood. Because it's like, okay, she has probably other classes at other universities or other colleges that she teaches, and, she's got to be able to do the material for those classes. So, but full-time, that means she only focuses on her one profession.
On the tag, out.
Wow.
Now batting.
Okay. All right. Well, that was my only question then. So then I don't understand why your professor is being hard to reach. To be honest, I have no idea if that's the case. I mean, then maybe maybe instead of asking her for help, why don't you ask one of your classmates? Maybe they understand the material better and maybe they can help you. Or is there like some kind of tutor? Like maybe there's a tutor that can help you?
The right fielder, Phil Lee.
And you still don't understand the material? It does seem like a problem. Got him!
Now back.
What do you mean by the concept? Nice triple.
You got that one.
I mean, I would offer to help you, but I don't think I can... I don't think I can,
For the copy. The second baseman.
Okay. No problem. Good luck with your assignment. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Nice catch, Lee. Over the shoulder.
Number 30, Kyle.
Yeah, but you say you're getting going, so... Oh, you're talking about the assignment. Ah, my bad. I thought you were talking about, like, getting going home, or, like, to class. Well, I mean, the only other advice I can give to you is that you should reach out to a classmate of yours. You know, the one thing that I found, because I had a globalization class when I was a junior, my fall semester, junior year, and
1-0.
and basically I did not do well on the first test of the year. So I decided to reach out to a classmate of mine who sat next to me because I knew she was pretty smart. And I said, "Listen, do you think we can get together and maybe you and I can look it over and maybe we can understand this this material? Because right now I don't understand it and I really need some help." And she was like, "Absolutely." So we got together for some study sessions and I did better on tests, which was important because that's when I needed to do that. Nice rob of a home run there by Lee. So I would also reach out to one of your classmates. Maybe they can help you.
1-1-1.
And that's the ball game. The Phillies take Game 2 against the Dodgers. The series is tied at 1. Bill Lee with an RBI triple.
third, the right fielder, Phil Lee.
Ooh, Otani. It's going to be a tough matchup.
1-0.
Wow, they really went? They advanced on that? Wow. With 66 speed too. That's actually good because if Lee can get a base hit here, which he does, that'll drive the runner in. Nice.
That is good. The catcher, Carson Kelly.
1-1.
And I'll never forget that after that semester, after I struggled in that class bit, I ended up going on to having being on the dean's list for the next 3 semesters, including my last one.
Safe.
I could have made it my first semester too, but unfortunately that writing class that I kept going to the professor to, not during her office hours, I didn't do too well in that class.
Runner.
Ha! Hey!
It's alright though. I mean, at the end of the day, I got my degree, and I've been in the workforce for a long time now. 8 years, I said.
Leading up for the Dodgers, the right fielder, Kyle.
Ooh, Otani versus Scooble. Man, two elite pitchers right there. That's why every run is going to matter, because who knows if Otani and Scooble are going to go tit for tat.
The center fielder, number 44, Andy Pajes.
Better be ready to throw home. Nice. Prevented that run from scoring. That was huge right there. Probably saved the lead for the Phillies.
Ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball.
Dang. That had just gone over the wall. That would have been great. Aside from that base hit that Lee had that drove in the first run, he really hasn't done anything since. Nice diving catch there. He has, fielding wise, he's done a lot. He's kept the lead intact.
Now back, right fielder, Phil Lee.
There we go. Finally, he's going to get a double here.
Full count.
Ooh. Wow. It's already 5:45. Dang. Yeah, we'll enter. We'll enter and see if we need to get the final out here. That's a base hit, so not good. Never want to give the Dodgers a chance. Strike 3, sit down, and that's the ball game. So the Phillies take down the Dodgers. They win the series 2-1. Tarek Skubal pitching 1-run ball game. Great job there. Phil Lee, I mean, nothing spectacular, but you know what? He didn't have to be spectacular. He just had to be enough. And he was enough. Tyler Freeman had a home run. He scored 3 runs in this game, so he was responsible for that. Carson Kelly also had a triple. That's, wow, okay. So those guys right there, Lee, Freeman, and Kelly, those were the guys responsible for the runs. Well, Freeman scored all 3 runs. But, I mean, Lee and Kelly drove him in. Let's see, do I have time? Oh, I meant to go into my franchise. I kept saying, like, I meant to go in and discuss the problem with progression. And I also needed to see if that option was available in franchise for to reject trades. So let's see, user settings, mode specific, lineups. Yeah, so, okay, so I thought there was an option here for you to control trades, but I guess not. All right, sorry, Mets. Didn't want to get your hopes up. I guess that was really only you controlling your own trades. All right, so let me show you guys what I mean. Whoops, that's not what I meant. Okay, so ignoring Luis Arias here, because he's actually my DH. You know, I mean, I have him signed through for another 4 seasons after this one. But I figured that was a cheap deal. Like, you know, $9 million a year for a few years. Not too bad. And for a guy that can hit, I mean, look at these averages. Since he's been on the Mets, okay, he's been hitting above 300, well above 300. In fact, has he had batting titles? Yeah, he's won batting. Oh, no, he's never won the batting title because Soto does that. Okay, but just ignore that for a second and let me talk about Ryan Clifford. Okay, here's a guy who's now in the 80s. He's 24 years old, so he's progressing a lot here. I like what I'm seeing here. Okay, you know, very good. He had a good. Oh, he's been rising in OPS. War-wise, I mean, he's projected to have even more war than he did the previous year. He's been going up in war. So that's good to see. But then I have this guy, Sam Velasco, who I drafted in the first round of the 2027 draft. And this guy is progressing. I mean, his power against lefties is going down, as is his contact. But I mean, he's still pretty solid. I'd like to see him improve as a fielder. But you look at these stats, like 315 average, OPS 825. I think that's a 1.0 WAR. Like this guy here might be my future first baseman. And it's like, how can I justify bringing him up with Ryan Clifford blocking him? Now you would say, you can move Clifford because he can play other positions, and I get that. But I can't put him in right field because I have Juan Soto there, so not to mention Carson Bench. And if I go to right field or left field, Nimmo is still on my team, and he's going to be here until 2030. Okay, and even if it's not him, I have this guy, John Starr, who I took in the second round. And this guy is a pure contact kind of guy. Like, you could tell his power is not there. But I mean, the guy can field, he can run, he can swing for contact. I'd like to see his vision get up. But I really have high hopes on him too. Like, I want him to work out as well. I'm just not gonna rush him to the majors because, well, Nimmo's already here. So I might as well finish it out with Nimmo and then be done with it. But you see what my dilemma is in my franchise. I have Clifford here, and then I have this 18-year-old who's a 75 overall. I could literally bring him up to the majors right now, and he would be fine. I'm just giving him a full year in AAA before I decide to do that because he's only 18 years old. But does that mean that I trade away Clifford? I mean, it's not like he's been terrible for me. As I've clearly established, he hasn't been terrible. And he's 24, so he's only going to get better. So you get what I mean? Like, this is the problem with progression. Now, there's always the chance that, he doesn't develop like I want him to. Velasco doesn't develop, and, that's a first round pick that I waste. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to go there yet. But I mean, that's always a possibility. It's just with Ryan Clifford, I really want him to work out. But I also want Velasco to work out as well. In fact, I want him to be alongside Juan Soto eventually. And I have no concerns about Drew Gilbert here. Like, I'm confident that he's going to develop into a solid star. Now, that may mean that I have to make some decisions about Nick Morabito and Alex Ramirez because they're being blocked by him right now, and they're not progressing like I want them to. I mean, Morabito is having a terrible season, actually. And Alex Ramirez, he's slightly better, but not that much. I just took this guy because I took a flyer on him. I was kind of like, okay, you got speed, you've got fielding. That's the other thing, too. I really wish they would improve scouting. Like, I actually liked it better how they did it before they made all these changes, before they updated scouting. I liked it better back then because it was so much simpler. It was like, okay, you're going to scout this player, you're going to scout this player, and then you're going to give me a full evaluation of it and be done with it. And then if I like them, then I'll pick them. And it would say, okay, this is his overall, um, this is his potential, do that with what you will. So it's just, it's a dilemma that I face in franchise, with that. And honestly, progression would make that so much easier for me. Like if I could say, okay, you're going to progress or you're going to progress this way, or this player, you're going to progress that way. I know I could change their attributes and edit them, make them a 99 overall, but I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in doing that. I'd rather see natural progression than me influencing it that way. Does that make sense? Anyway, let's check out the MVP race here. So it looks like Phil Lee is still hanging on. Pete Crow Armstrong and Michael Busch are in pursuit, but Phil Lee is still hanging on as MVP, which is nice to see. Scooble looks like he's top of the charts for Cy Young, and then Phil Lee is still battling for the batting title. He's been hovering around 350 all year, so sometimes he goes lower, sometimes he goes higher, but either way, he still consistently hits, so that's good to see. Sal Frank is leading for NL Reliever of the Year, followed by Diaz and Morejon. Ballesteros is leading for Rookie of the Year, followed by Bryce Eldridge and Alex Freeland. And then Phil Lee is leading for the Hank Aaron Award. Giolito for Gold Glove of Pitchers. Catcher Moises Ballesteros. Matt Olson for first base. Second base, Ketel Marte. Third base, Oswaldo Cabrera. Shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. Left field, Dane Myers. Center field, Dalton Varsho. Right field, I can't even believe that Phil Lee is not on here, but Dylan Cruz, Kyle Tucker, and Fernando Tatis Jr. So that's a shame that he's not even going to get a chance. For DH Silver Slugger, we got Shohei Ohtani. Then at catcher, there's Francisco Alvarez, with Carson Kelly not far behind. Michael Busch for first base. Jazz Chisholm Jr. for second base. Third base, Matt Chapman. Shortstop, Ellie De La Cruz. And then for the outfield, you have Phil Lee, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Kyle Tucker, along with Juan Soto and Teoscar Fernandez. So, last thing I guess we could do is check out who's leading the way for All-Star votes. I see Paul Skeens here, no surprise. Pablo Lopez, he's turning some heads. I'm really surprised Tarek Skubal is not up there. I'm actually worried he may miss out on the All-Star game. But maybe that just shows how tough it's been in the National League that, he's now on the cusp of not being in the All-Star game. For reliever, we got Sean Manaea, Dylan Dodd, Matt Strom, Brusdar Graterol. For closing pitcher, Andrew Salfrank, Edwin Diaz, Jeff Hoffman. For catcher, Francisco Alvarez is leading. Not far behind him, Carson Kelly. First base, Michael Busch. Poor Bryce Harper. He's all the way down here. He's been bad. He's regressing badly. It's hitting him. I mean, is he even at, he's not even close. Well, he's closer, but I don't think he's going to reach. He's got to get 12 more home runs. He needs 17 if he's going to reach 400. Man, regression sucks. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is leading the way for second base. For third base, it's Matt Chapman. For shortstop, Ellie De La Cruz, Trey Turner, not far behind, or in second. Left field, you got Christian Yelich, Randy Arozarena. In center field, you got Pete Crow Armstrong, Cody Bellinger. I kind of wish that were real life, but alas, no. And then for right field, no surprise, Phil Lee is leading the way. I wish we could see the votes, but I'm blocking them. So those are your all-stars for, and Christian Yelich is leading for DH, which I'm assuming if Yelich doesn't get it, then it's going to be or if Yelich gets the start in left field, then it's going to be Arozarena. So, but that's the National League All-Stars. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for me. So thank you to everyone who tuned in. Even if it was only for a moment, I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to follow me here on Twitch and or subscribe. Either one would make me a happy person. If you're watching this on YouTube, I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you liked the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know when I go live, you can follow me on X at TTVNextJGGen24. It's my gamer tag that's on the left side of your screen there. So go give me a follow. I'll usually post whenever I go live. You can also turn on notifications here on Twitch. That way Twitch sends you an email every time I start up a stream. So this was nice for the Phillies to bounce back and get their stuff together. I mean, taking 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays, then sweeping the Mets, that was huge. That's put a gap between them and the Mets in the division. It's at 5 games now. I was worried that Colorado and Toronto, I was worried that they were regressing into their old ways, but you know what? They stood strong against San Diego. They stood strong against Los Angeles. And now they got the Chicago Cubs coming up to start the month of June. So we'll pick up there when we come back tomorrow, Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So I hope to see you then. And until then, guys, have a good night.